All right, Tuesday afternoon, just got off from work, got home, been contemplating all day, chomping at the bits to get home, get started on my dash. By the way, welcome back to Cars and Cows. Good to have you. Yeah, I've been wanting to get home all day, get this thing sanded to see what it looks like. I went ahead, my wife was out there on the lawnmower mowing, so I had a lot of noise. I forgot my microphone, so I don't know what it sounds like. But I went ahead and went over it with some 400. And I've got some pits. Let me turn the phone around here and I'll show you what I got. All right. Yeah, I went over some 400 when I got home, and I'm finding pits in it under the prime where I've been saying, like I said, 400. Got some bad ones back there. See how it's pitted here on my defrost vents. Got a few more here and there. It's not terrible, but I'm using rattle can spray paint, and it's not like a high build primer, and so it's not really filling the pits up like a good primer would that you'd spray through a gun, or even a high build primer that a lot of people use. Got a place there. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm just using this Rust-Oleum. I got it at Wally World. But what I think I'm gonna do is shoot about at least three, possibly four good thick coats and see what that does. I mean, it's dashboard. It's not outside hitting the weather or anything like that, so it ought to be durable enough. We'll just look at it and see what it looks like when I get done. I may be wasting my time. I don't know. I may have to go to the auto paint store and buy me some primer. I don't even think I have to have high build, because just regular good primer would be thicker than what's coming out of that rattle can. So let me throw this thing over here on some good old cardboard, and we'll throw some good heavy coats on it, and we'll see what it looks like here in a few minutes. All right, what I did, you're gonna laugh, but I took some of them blue shop towel rags and some Windex and wiped all that black off of it real good. And then I held my can and the dash up in front of my spacer to start to cool off outside a little bit. I want it good and warm before I paint it. Got them good and warm. So I'm gonna shoot some paint on this thing. I'll tell you what I did think about. I do have some spot putty. I may wind up doing that in some of them bad spots. We'll see what this primer is going to do first, though. So let me throw this thing up on a tripod, and we'll throw some paint to it. Yeah, I went off and left my mic in the house. I just got home and jumped straight out of the truck and come up here to the shop. So I don't know how good you can hear me, but for the last week before last, I was laid off from work, and so last week they started first shift back up, but that was it. So they give us an option. I had enough seniority. I got to come back and work. I worked first shift this week, and they're going to start all three shifts back up next week, but they're not going to run full production. So they asked me if I would just stay on first shift for another week, and I obliged. So I kind of like getting off at early in the afternoon, but I do not like getting up early in the morning and have to go in. That's part of it. But so I don't know. I guess next week after next, I'll be back on third shift. What I want to do. I hope you can hear me. Like I said, I ain't got my mic on. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back to normal. Hopefully by a week after next, be back on third shift, my normal lifestyle. I'm hoping this right here will build up high enough. Like I said, I'm gonna put about three good heavy coats on it. I got some more paint over, I believe, on the shelf. If not, I'll go buy some more. And I'll let this dry for about 20 minutes or so in between coats. Lay her down good and thick. Maybe that'll take care of hopefully that'll take care of my pits. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. A lot of people, they think they gotta have the best of everything to work on something, but and you don't. You can get by with less. I don't have near the tools I'd like to have. I mean, I've got several tools, but nothing like what I'd like to have in my shop. But that guy we watch, all of us have watched that guy named Ian. He can do more with less than anybody I've ever seen. Man, that guy, he's got imagination, and he's just real good at what he does. he's built some really cool stuff with just nearly nothing, you know. But don't be discouraged because you don't have all the cool tools that a lot of these big shops have. You can do a lot with little if you just use your head a little bit. But yeah, I started out, man, building this truck. I just started out nothing but a cab. And it's funny, I had some 2x4 rectangular tubing that I had bought several years before I even thought about building that truck. I bought it to build a row bar on an old John Deere tractor I had, and I knew that I wound up trading that tractor off. So, and it's thick. It's quarter inch thick. So it ain't going nowhere. So that's why I built my frame out of, most of it, not all of it, but most of it. You'll see more of it once I pull the cab and everything off. You'll see how I built it. I used C channel and square tubing to build the frame with. But yeah, you don't have to have the best of everything to build a hot rod or work on anything. You just use a little imagination, use what you have. Well, let me let that coat dry. I don't know if I got it all night, but I'm gonna come back, like I said, 2 or 3 more. So hang tight. I got about 3 good coats on it right now. I'm gonna let it dry one more time for a few minutes and throw that 4th coat on it. Got it pretty thick. It's looking like it's covering the pits up pretty good. And then I'll let this thing sit all night tonight. And hopefully I had a bunch of running around when I got off work today, so I didn't get home as early as I wanted to. I lost over an hour just having to run a bunch of errands. But tomorrow is gonna be our last warm day. They're talking like we got some bad weather or cold weather coming in. I think it's supposed to storm possibly Friday. But yeah, so I'm hoping and praying tomorrow I can get this thing sanded down, possibly get it shot with some paint. I am going to do something different tomorrow. I'm going to wet sand it instead of dry sand it, because dry sand it, it just builds up in that paper. I even took air and tried to blow it out of it and all that, because that's wet sandpaper. But so I'm gonna wet sand that rascal tomorrow using a little bit of dish soap, and hopefully it'll come out slick enough I can just go ahead and shoot with some good old black. So another thing I got going on, my old buddy Raleigh come over last night, and I told you the other day about getting this and this powder coated. This is all my door parts, by the way, laying in here. We was looking at all that. I'm missing the 2 little clips that goes on my inside garnish moldings. I'm not sure what I've done with them. I'm gonna have to start looking through my boxes. I took all this apart. I took this cab over to Raleigh's. The bottom of this old cab was rotted pretty bad. We had to fix both doors. I got a bunch of junk sitting in the way again, but we had to fix the bottom of both doors, put a new floorboard in it, new rockers. Raleigh built all that for me, done a bunch of work. And here my rooster out there cackling. No, it's actually a chicken. But so I took it over at Raleigh's. We done all that, and I took all my doors apart over at Raleigh's. But I thought I threw everything I had back in here. But missing them, we got to looking through all that stuff, and I'm missing them 2 little pieces that connect your garnish mold in the doors. But I'm sure I got them somewhere. If I don't, Raleigh said he thought he had some. He used to fool he's had no telling how many of these old trucks, so he said he thought he had some if I couldn't find mine. So, but yeah, we was talking about how much he thought it would cost to get that chrome, and he said he didn't really know. It probably could be $300-400, maybe more. I don't know. He's building a car for a friend of his, and they got to take some stuff down to Nashville and get it chromed. So I told him I wanted to go when we went and go down there and see what it costs to get that chromed and get rid of that powder coat. So it just didn't hold up. So yeah, depending on how much that cost, I may just have to tell my wife after the deal. It's what's that old saying? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission, right? I may have to sleep on the couch a few nights, or a few days if I'm back on 3rd. That'd be all right. So anyway, I still got to paint my glove box, throw a couple more coats of primer on it. And I got an old boy I used to work with. He is a tattoo artist and a sign painter. I'm gonna have him paint something on that glove box for me. I'll show you what that'll be later. I don't know when it's gonna come around, but after I get it painted. He lives several miles from here. He don't work at the plant with me no more, but He's a really good tattoo artist and an artist, period. He's a sign, you know, he can paint signs, pinstripes, all that stuff. So I got something I want him to paint on that glove box door for me, and we'll show you what that is when the time comes. So I'm gonna go in here and get me something to eat. I'm getting a little hungry, and get ready. I got to go to bed early so I can get up early. So I'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, just got home from work. Had to stop by the Harbor Freight and get me some wet sandpaper. Got me some 400. Thought I'd get home and start do a little wet sanding on this old rascal. I put about 4 good coats on it last night before I went in. Like I showed you, I took my old space heater and got everything good and warm. Shot me about 4 good thick coats on it. I think it's gonna take care of it. Anyway, I'm gonna sand on it here for a little while and see what it kind of looks like here in a minute. I think it's gonna be all right. I don't like this time change. Heck, it gets dark a little after 5. And the sun's going down over there now. It's already, I don't know, it's a little bit after 4, I think. Had a couple stops to make after I got off work. But I believe it's gonna do all right. Yeah, I don't like his time change. I wish he'd leave it alone. Just leave it on fast time or whatever they call it. Where the sun stays out as late as possible. It's a beautiful day today. I do know that. Thank God. Thank God for beautiful days, right? I think all that's about to change. It talk like it's going to turn off cold on us. Wintertime, it's first week of November, so yeah, it's fixing to turn wintertime on us here pretty soon. Kind of look forward to Thanksgiving. I got taking some days off where I'm going to try to get some stuff done, work on this old truck and work on my shop. I started last year insulating on my shop a little bit on my ceiling. Try to make it work a little easier to heat, and plus I'm flooring part of my trusses up there where I have more space to put all my old hot rod parts and stuff, kind of keep everything organized. I like organization. I know it don't look like it, but I do. But yeah, I don't see no pits, so I believe this right here is gonna turn out looking all right. That wet paint on, that water on there, you can kind of see what it's gonna look like after I get it painted. It's gonna be pretty slick looking, I believe, especially put all that chrome on it. I got one more little thing to show you. I've been kind of keeping a secret. Something I done. Shoot, man, I bet it's been 5-6 years ago. But I'll show that to you when I get ready to put this dash back together. I got a real nice piece to put on this thing whenever it gets ready to go back together. I'm hoping I can go ahead and get my chrome orders here in the next few days. I'd like to get this thing done, and that way this piece of the puzzle's finished, ready to go in the truck when I get everything else painted and ready to go in. I'm fixing to pull the cab off it here pretty soon. I may try to do that during Thanksgiving and get it painted. I talked to my old buddy Raleigh. He's over here tonight. I don't think I'm gonna do any body work on that truck. I'm just gonna leave it how we cut and fixed. I'm just gonna shoot that old texture paint on, makes it look like rust, and just let it go. I can always come back and fix it later if I change my mind. It's really nice out here this afternoon. I wish it'd stay like this till spring, then warm up. I'm not a big fan of wintertime. Only thing I like about winter is Thanksgiving and Christmas, when all the family gets together. Get to do a lot of good eating. After that, as far as I'm concerned, it can go back to being summertime. I don't like having to wear long sleeves. I don't like having to burn kerosene and propane to keep my shop warm all winter to work out here. I know it's just part of it. I guess if I didn't like it too much, I'd move to Florida, right? But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Well, it's Friday night. Come in. It's been raining about all evening. Finally come in, quit raining. Got this sucker sanded down good last night. I may be pushing it. I may be a little over anxious. I've already started shooting a little paint on it. I got one of these lights on my head my son bought me. I use this thing a lot, man. I love these lights, LED. Anyway, I'm just kind of putting a light coat on it. I don't know how many coats it's going to take to cover it good. Like I said, I may be getting a little ahead of myself. I might have should have hung it up. That way I can hold that can up more straight shooting. But anyway, if it don't turn out just right, I can always, I guess, go back and wet sand it back down again after it dries good and start over. Sometimes I get ahead of myself and get too big a hurry. It's easy to do. But I don't know, it ain't laying down quite as slick as I thought it would. And the can's putting out little bitty, not many, but a few little drops. I'm hoping that'll go away when I put that second coat on. I'm gonna wait, I don't know, about 15 minutes maybe in between coats. This is just my first coat here. But yeah, I don't like having to turn that can up like that to paint, not with a rattle can. But like I said, I probably should have waited till tomorrow when I can see better with the daylight and hung it up on something to shoot it. But like I said, sometimes I get in a hurry. But I like the color of it. It's John Deere Blitz Black. Basically the color of the handles and stuff like that on the older tractors. I'm not really sure about the new ones. The trim around the cab, clutch pedal, brake pedals, all that. Anyway, I'm gonna let that one set up for about 15 or so minutes. And then we'll come back and shoot another one. And I'll just let you see what it looks like when it's done. You don't have to watch me paint it. So I'll be back with you in just a minute. Okay, Saturday morning. Kind of foggy out this morning, as we can see. It was really foggy early. But yeah, I shot 3 pretty good coats on this last night, plus my glove box. And like I said, I think I got a little ahead of myself. I should have waited. It's got some little spots in it in places. I don't know if the camera showed or not. There's one right there, if you can see it. Something about the paint. Sometimes in rattle cans will shoot out just like a little blotch or something, little dots. And this one did that. And plus, I've still got a little pitting going on. So my son Carter got up early, went and ate breakfast with our farmer buddies. So he called me. He was going to run out John Deere for me and get me another can of paint. Yes, I think it's got some corner trim that comes down on your A-pillars. It's why that is pitted so bad, maybe, where the water ran down back over the years. But I mean, it turned out pretty good, but I am not really satisfied with it. So I'm gonna wet sand on this thing a little bit. And instead of shooting it with it laying down, I'm gonna take and raise the loader up on the tractor. It's about the only thing I got to hang from. Got the hay forks on it, and I'm gonna hang it on it. Get me some clothes hangers and hang it up on the hay forks. That way I can just shoot with the can vertical instead of laying down horizontal. So I ain't got much left in that can, and I don't really trust it because, like I said, it had some little spots coming out. There ain't much left in it. It got me a good old cup of coffee this morning. So y'all bear with me, and I'm going to wet sand on this thing. I ain't going to bore you with that. And it's supposed to be fairly nice today. I'm hoping the sun will pop out here in just a little while and warm up. It's already in the 50s. If it'll get up, I'd like to see it get about 60, 65 at least. That way I can just shoot it outside and it won't hurt nothing. Be all right. So I'll catch you back here in just a minute. Okay, I got her hung up on the front end loader with some clothes hanger. Got my paint. I've been there, took my paint, and I've been shaking it real good and holding it in front of my space heater to get it good and warm. It's only like 60 degrees out here right now, and it ain't going to get a lot warmer today. It's supposed to stay cloudy all day, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with it and see what happens. I don't know if holding that paint in front of the space heater, getting the molecules, the paint warm while I shake it, I don't know if that helps it or hurts it. If anybody knows more than me, comment, let me know. I'd like to know if I'm doing it right or wrong. Look here. I don't know if you can see them or not. Let me see if I can bring that in. Where are they at? There they are. Bunch of geese. Whole bunch of gooses. Got one flying by itself. He's going the wrong way. Anyway, there they go. We've got some eagles around here too. They live down on the river. I haven't actually seen one myself, but my wife has. She said she saw one fly over the other day, over the yard, over the house. But let's shoot some paint on this thing. We'll see what it looks like. And I'll be back here in just a second. We'll see what we got. Okay, I got about 4 pretty good coats on it. It's been laying down pretty good for the most part, but it does, and I turned it around where the sun was more facing it. But yeah, it's got a couple, I don't know if you can see them or not, it's got a couple of little blotches. And one thing I did, I wish I hadn't have done, is hung it by the vent hose there. You can see how that's kind of scratched where my clothes hanger's hanging up there a little bit. But I can go back after all this dries, and I can just mask off that one little spot there and sand that out and shoot a little paint on it, and it'll be okay. It's not perfect. I still got a little bit up there around my vent crank hole, little blotchy looking places, but after I put my vent crank in, get in the truck and all that, it ain't gonna show too bad. I may be a little too picky, I don't know. And while I was waiting on coats to dry, I got up in the attic, went through some boxes, and I found, I knew when I took them doors apart, I put all the screws that come out of the inside of that cab in a bag. So I got up there going through some boxes, or I found it in the first box actually. And I found my little clips that goes on the garnish moldings for my doors. So I found those, so that's a good deal. So I think I'm gonna call this one good. I know this video is a little more lengthy than what I wanted it to be, but I'm going to make a total different video on making them knobs. I'll probably start on that this week. I'm just going to do a video by itself on making those teardrop knobs. So that's where they are. So I think I'm going to do something a little different on that. But yeah, we're not looking bad. It ain't looking bad. I'm going to have to repaint my glove box door though. It didn't turn out too good. It's got a spot in it I don't like. So I'm going to sand it down and reshoot it, get it looking better. So we'll be putting this thing together here in the next couple of days, let it cure up a little bit, and I'll get my knobs made. Like I said, I'm gonna do a different video on that, get my knobs made. We'll get the glove box door repainted and put on, and we'll go from there. So I appreciate you watching. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see you on the next one.